I'm Cheryl Stape Bryson, mom, divorcee, health nut, and host of the Healthy Mom After Divorce podcast, where I help divorced moms get healthy, create financial stability, and develop emotional fortitude while they master co-parenting their kids. The place is here, and your time is now. So let's do this. Hey, healthy mamas. Thank you for joining me for this 10th episode of the Healthy Mom After Divorce podcast. I seriously can't believe I'm already at 10. It feels like the time just flies. So as always, you can find the full transcript for this episode at healthymomafterddivorce.com/10. So I want to start today's podcast with a scenario that might sound familiar to you. You and your ex are separated or divorced, and you have shared parenting of your kids. So what that means is, of course, they go back and forth between the two of you on some agreed upon regular schedule. When you split and agreed on the shared parenting schedule, you thought it was going to be mostly amicable. You worked out most details and figured anything that was missed would work itself out over time and you could just address them as you go along. And eventually, as expected, a detail not previously specifically worked out comes up. In this example, one of your kids' birthdays comes around and it falls on your ex's regular parenting time. Your parenting agreement or custody arrangement doesn't prescribe exactly how you'll share the day, but you figure something can be sorted out. You reach out to your ex and ask if you could share the special day. You propose a few options of when the kids could spend time with you so you can celebrate their birthday, and you ask your ex if any of the options work for them. Before too long, your phone dings. You check your email and, alas, your ex has responded. Hopeful, you open the email and start reading. The answer, though, is no. Wait, that can't be right, so you read it again. Yep, the answer is still no. After the initial surprise wears off, in comes the panic, right? The stress, the pit in your stomach, the frustration, actually the rage that you won't be able to see the birthday kid on their freaking birthday. Now, at this point, your reactivity might lead you astray and into an emotional, unhelpful response. If you're like a lot of us, what you instinctively want to do is write back an angry email about how they're being unreasonable, how it's not fair, how they're a total jerk, and flat out demanding some time with your kid on the special day. To be clear, you would be justified in all of these points. You do deserve to spend some time with your kid to celebrate their birthday. It is definitely unfair and unreasonable of your co-parent to stand in the way of this, even if it is their regular parenting time. And to make matters worse, who it hurts the most is actually the kids. Wait, there's an even worse part. The really, really crappy part is that there's nothing you can do about it. Seriously. Unless you have some prescription in a formal parenting agreement or court order that allows for you to see them on their birthday, you're entirely at the mercy of your ex's goodwill and willingness to be reasonable and do what's best for the kids. If divorce has taught me nothing else, it's that people will do whatever they want. They'll behave however they want to behave, and you can't make them do anything. Being a reasonable person is a choice. And not everyone chooses it. Doing the right thing is not always easy, and some people are simply not able or willing to do so, especially when it comes to their ex. So let's return to our story. At this point, you're beyond frustrated, and the reality of not seeing your kid on their birthday is starting to settle in. You could, at this point, put in a further request asking again, and suggesting that if the times you propose don't work for them, that perhaps they could suggest some for you to pick from. And if this is what you want to do, before you write this response, I would suggest waiting a few hours or even a day. Otherwise, you run the risk of saying things you shouldn't, and it only makes matters worse. And if you happen to still be in any kind of negotiating phase of your divorce, nasty reactive communication never helps anyone, most certainly not the kids. I actually discuss this concept of waiting before responding a bit more in my free guide, 4 Ways to Get Healthy, Create Financial Stability, and Develop Emotional Fortitude While Becoming a Master Co-Parent, which you can download for free at healthymomafterddivorce.com/guide. So where were we? Oh yes. Okay, so let's say you waited, you wrote a reasonable response, and asked again. Drum roll, please. The answer, still no. Okay, healthy mama, don't panic. I know in the moment, it's not easy. I mean, who doesn't want to see their kid on their birthday? They only turn 3 or 8 or 11 once, right? I get it. Missing out on these special days can be very, very difficult. Let the tears flow. Let your fists ball. Let the expletives flow freely. Make sure your kids are out of earshot for that last one, though. Definitely let yourself indulge in this emotional space. It's not wrong to feel this way, and trying to push it down doesn't help. It just keeps us stuck, and the goal is to move forward. So let yourself feel how you want to feel. But if you can, try not to hang around super long in this uber emotional space, because once the initial sting has come and gone, it's time to reframe and get on with it. You are going to miss this special day, whether you wallow in sadness and frustration or carry on and make the best of it. The time is going to pass anyways. I know that our society has told us that there are certain days on the calendar that are special. So we focus on October 31st or December 25th or the actual date of birth of your child. But in reality, it's not the exact date that's special, is it? What's special is what the celebration means to you. Celebrating your kids' birthday every year on the same day makes it simple and straightforward to remember and plan. After all, it is the date they were born. But ask yourself, is it really, truly any less special if you celebrate it the next day or 3 days before or even 2 weeks later? Is it truly impossible for you to celebrate a special day on a different day than the actual date? What makes a day special is not the calendar date. What makes a day special is what you are celebrating, why you are celebrating it, and who you are celebrating it with. You can make your kids feel special any day of the year. Remember, kids are not nearly as rigid as we adults are. They're just happy to be celebrating. What they want is to be seen and to feel special and to feel loved and to have fun and, of course, get presents and cake. Now, this is where you might also need to help your kids through this. Depending on their age, they will know when their birthday is or when Christmas Day is. They will know they are missing it with you, especially if the other parent really builds up the day ahead of time. They may feel sad and stressed that they aren't able to celebrate with you on that day, especially if this is the first one of its kind since your split. But you can reassure them that you'll celebrate the weekend before or the next time you see them. You can reassure them that everything you have planned can be scheduled another day. On my last podcast episode, called When Trying to Protect Your Kids May Not Be What's Best for Them, I talk about us moms moving from trying to protect our kids 100% of the time to preparing them for dealing with difficult situations and big emotions in healthy ways. So when they're feeling sad or stressed that they won't see you on Halloween or Christmas Day, this is a perfect opportunity to prepare them for the day in advance and what they can do in your absence to move through whatever comes up for them. In our birthday story, one idea is you could reassure them that what you're celebrating is when they came into the world and changed your life forever and made you the luckiest mom on the planet. It doesn't have to be celebrated on a specific calendar date. It's about them and your family and what it means to you and how everything changed for the better simply because of them. And that can be celebrated any day. I hope for most of you, you do get to see your kids on special occasions. But being a healthy mom is also knowing how to pivot and adapt when you can't. And teaching your kids how to pivot and adapt is crucial to their well-being as well. Often, life doesn't go as planned. In fact, it almost never does, and certainly not when it comes to divorce. Truth is, you can celebrate their birthday anytime around the date. Days or weeks before, heck, months before if that's what works for your schedule. You can have a Halloween party the weekend before instead of taking them trick-or-treating. You can leave the eggs that the Easter Bunny left for them for as many days as needed for your kids to come back and find them. And the gifts that Santa left won't expire. Have a second Christmas morning 2 weeks later, jammies and eggnog and all. I know it's hard, and it feels far from ideal, but aren't a lot of things in life that way? And just so we cover all the bases, let's play the maybe it would have been better to stay together game, also known as the worst game ever. Let's tackle this intrusive thought head on. Even if you were still together with your co-parent and could celebrate on the actual day of, would it really be that great if everyone was miserable and stressed, which then always leads to a fight? Think of why your split happened in the first place. If you're like me, I'd take the birthday party a week early any day over the alternative. And I'm guessing when your kids look back as adults, they would pick the same. You, as a healthy mom, can pivot and make any day special. Your kids just want to be with you. Keep these 3 things in mind when you're pivoting like a boss. Number 1, protect your kids from your frustration of not getting to see them day of. It will rub off on them and make them feel worse, given there's nothing that you or they can do about it. Instead, enlist your spouse or close friend or family member to help you work through those initial feelings of frustration, then move on. Number 2, keep whatever you choose to do low stress for you and your kids and your family. Make it special, but keep it fluid and the expectations low. Just like us, kids have on and off days, so organize whatever celebration you like, but also go with the flow. Trust me, everyone will be happier because of it. And number 3, let your kids know when you'll be celebrating so they can look forward to it. This will help them enjoy all celebrations, whether they're with you or their other parent. Remember, you're feeling what you're feeling as the adult and parent in this situation. Your kids experience it differently, and as a healthy mom, you get to help them experience it in the best way possible. Chin up, healthy mamas, and plan the heck out of December 28th, also known as Bonus Christmas. I mean, really, how many kids wouldn't want to celebrate Bonus Christmas? And as you navigate Bonus Christmas, early Halloween, pre-birthday birthday party, and extra Easter, remember, special days are not about dates, but rather why you are celebrating and who you are celebrating with as healthy moms raising healthy kids. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave a review. And if you like what you heard, share this episode with other mums. Don't forget to follow me on social media. And if you want to learn more about me and what else I have to offer, head over to healthymomafterddivorce.com. I can't wait to connect with you.